Picture this. December 2nd, 1804, Notre-Dame Cathedral, Paris. Every important person in Europe is watching. The Pope himself has traveled from Rome to crown the new Emperor of France. The crown is raised, and then Napoleon Bonaparte reaches up and takes it from the Pope's hands, crowns himself. The entire room gasps, because that's not how this works. Kings don't crown themselves. Emperors don't just decide. But Napoleon does. And the thing is, 10 years earlier, nobody even knew his name. He was a bullied kid, an outsider, the boy with the weird accent who ate lunch alone. So how does that happen? How does someone go from absolutely nothing to crowning themselves emperor in front of the Pope? That's what we're about to find out. Let's start at the beginning. August 15th, 1769, the island of Corsica. A baby boy is born to a low-level noble family. They name him Napoleon. Now here's the first problem. Corsica, it's not really French, not in any meaningful way. France invaded it the year before Napoleon was born. So technically, yeah, he's French, but nobody in France sees it that way. To them, he's Corsican, which means he's less than. 9 years old, Napoleon gets shipped off to military school in mainland France, Royal Military School of Brienne. Sounds fancy, right? Except when he shows up, he doesn't fit at all. The other boys, sons of wealthy French aristocrats, they speak perfect Parisian French, they wear the right clothes, they know the right people. Napoleon? He speaks French with a thick Corsican accent. His family has barely any money. He's short, awkward, quiet. And the other boys, they destroy him for it. They call him the Corsican peasant. They mock his accent. They laugh at his clothes. They exclude him from everything. Most kids would break, would quit, would go home. Napoleon doesn't. Instead, he does something that will define the rest of his life. He decides that if he can't beat them socially, he'll beat them intellectually. So while the rich kids are partying, Napoleon is in the library, reading, studying, obsessing. He reads about Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Hannibal, every military genius who ever lived. He memorizes their strategies, their victories, their mistakes. He's not just studying history, he's studying power, how to take it, how to keep it. And slowly, something shifts. The weird Corsican kid, he starts dominating in military tactics classes, outthinking everyone, solving problems no one else can solve. The teachers notice. The other boys stop laughing. Napoleon doesn't forget what they did to him, but he stops caring. Fast forward, 1793, Napoleon is 24 years old, and France, it's completely falling apart. The revolution is in complete chaos. The king has been executed. Half of Europe is at war with France, and the British just seized the French port city of Toulon, took it right from under France's nose. France desperately needs it back, but nobody can figure out how. The British defenses are too strong. Every French attack fails. And then this unknown artillery captain named Napoleon shows up. He looks at the situation, looks at the maps, looks at where everyone else has been attacking, and he says something that sounds insane. You're attacking the wrong place. Everyone stares at him. Who is this kid? But Napoleon explains, don't attack the city walls, attack the fort on the hill overlooking the harbor. Take that and the British ships have to evacuate. No ships, no supply line. No supply line, the city falls. Someone finally listens, gives him control of the artillery, and it works, exactly like Napoleon said it would. The French take the fort, the British panic, they evacuate their entire fleet. Toulon is recaptured. Napoleon becomes a hero overnight. At 24 years old, he's promoted to brigadier general. The Corsican peasant just proved he's the smartest person in the room, and he's just getting started. 2 years later, Napoleon gets another promotion, commander of the French army in Italy. Except when he shows up, the army is a disaster. The soldiers are starving, they haven't been paid in months, their boots are falling apart, morale is non-existent. Napoleon gathers them, gives a speech. Soldiers, you are naked and ill-fed. The government owes you much, but can give you nothing. I will lead you into the most fertile plains on earth. There you will find honor, glory, and riches. And then he does something smart. He marries a woman named Josephine de Beauharnais. Josephine is a widow, well connected in Paris, knows everyone who matters. Is it love? Maybe. Is it strategy? Absolutely. Napoleon understands that in revolutionary France, you need two things to rise: military victories and political connections. He's about to get both. The Italian campaign starts, and Napoleon doesn't just win, he dominates. In 2 years, he defeats 5 separate Austrian armies, conquers most of northern Italy, forces Austria to sign a peace treaty on France's terms. He returns to Paris at 27 years old, the most famous man in France. Crowds cheer his name in the streets. But here's the problem. The French government is terrified of him. This nobody from Corsica is too powerful, too dangerous. So they do what nervous governments always do. They send him away.
1798. Napoleon is given command of an army to invade Egypt. Officially, the goal is to cut off Britain's route to India. Unofficially, the government just wants him out of Paris, somewhere far away where he can't threaten them. Napoleon knows this, but he goes anyway. Because Egypt isn't just a military campaign to him. It's something bigger. It's Alexander the Great. It's Julius Caesar. It's legacy. So he loads 40,000 soldiers onto ships and sails to Egypt. July 21st, 1798. The French army stands in front of the pyramids of Giza, 40,000 men staring at monuments built 3,000 years ago. Napoleon addresses them. Soldiers, from the summit of these pyramids, 40 centuries look down upon you. It's one of the most famous speeches in military history, and it works. The soldiers are inspired, ready to fight. Hours later, they face the Mamluk cavalry, elite Egyptian warriors, legendary fighters. Napoleon's response? Infantry squares, disciplined formations, artillery and musket fire perfectly coordinated. The Mamluks charge, again and again, brave, suicidal. The French squares hold. Every charge is cut down by volleys of gunfire. Egypt falls. Napoleon conquers it in weeks. But then, disaster. The British Navy shows up, finds the French fleet anchored in Abu Qir Bay and destroys it. Every single ship gone. Napoleon's army is stranded, cut off from France. No supplies, no reinforcements, no way home. They're stuck in Egypt, 40,000 men, surrounded by enemies. And Napoleon, he does something that people will argue about for centuries. August 99, under cover of darkness, Napoleon boards a small ship, leaves his army behind, sails back to France. He abandons them. Is it cowardice? Is it strategy? Is it ambition? Probably all three. Because when Napoleon gets back to Paris, he finds France in chaos again. The government is corrupt, weak, incompetent. The economy is collapsing. Foreign armies are invading French borders. France is desperate for someone strong, someone who can take control. Napoleon sees his moment. November 9th, the coup of 18 Brumaire. Napoleon and a group of co-conspirators march soldiers into the government assembly, bayonets drawn. Politicians scatter. Some try to resist. It's over in hours. The French Revolution? Done. Finished. Napoleon seizes power, creates a new government called the Consulate. 3 consuls, except everyone knows there's really only one. First consul, Napoleon Bonaparte. He's 30 years old, and he controls France. And here's the thing. Napoleon doesn't just rule, he actually fixes things. He creates the Napoleonic Code, a complete legal system that dozens of countries still use today. He reforms education, infrastructure, banking, the economy. He makes peace with the Catholic Church, ends the chaos that's been tearing France apart for a decade. France stabilizes. For the first time in years, people aren't terrified of what's coming next. And Napoleon's popularity, it skyrockets. But being first consul isn't enough. Not for Napoleon. Because first consul is temporary. It's limited. Someone could take it away. Napoleon wants something permanent, something no one can take. So in 1804, he holds a vote. Should France become an empire? Should Napoleon become emperor? The result? 3.5 million votes yes, 2,500 votes no.
France doesn't just want an emperor, they want Napoleon. December 2nd, 1804, Notre-Dame Cathedral. The entire city of Paris is watching. All of Europe is watching. Pope Pius VII has traveled from Rome for this. The ceremony is supposed to go like this. The Pope holds the crown, blesses it, then places it on Napoleon's head. That's how it's always been done. The monarch receives power from the church. But when the moment comes, when the Pope raises the crown, Napoleon reaches up, takes it from his hands, and crowns himself. The room goes silent, shocked, because this isn't just breaking tradition. This is Napoleon saying something out loud in front of everyone. He's saying, I don't answer to God. I don't answer to kings. I don't answer to the church. I made myself. I answer to no one. From bullied Corsican boy to Emperor of France in 35 years. No royal blood, no inheritance, no handouts. Just ambition, genius, and ruthlessness. But here's the thing about people like Napoleon. The ambition doesn't stop. It never does. He didn't become emperor to rule France. He became emperor to rule Europe, to conquer it, to reshape it in his image. And for the next 10 years, he almost does it. Almost. Because ambition has a price, and Napoleon's about to pay it in full. The Russian winter, the Spanish guerrillas, the European coalitions forming against him, Waterloo. All of it starts here, at this coronation, the moment Napoleon decided he answered to no one. He'll conquer most of Europe, control 70 million people, redraw the map of the continent, and then he'll lose everything. His empire, his crown, his freedom. But that's a story for another time. For now, just remember this. December 2nd, 1804, a boy from Corsica who was mocked for his accent crowned himself Emperor of France. And for 10 years, all of Europe trembled.